All right, hey guys, Sam here from TradeDevils.com and TradeDevils-Indicators.com. Today we're looking at the latest enhancements that we've made to our advanced trade panel. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to refer, rather than go over all of the features here, I'm going to refer you to the original video that we did when we launched this here. So I think what I want to focus on here is just the new features that we've added to, but I don't want you to miss this if you're interested or if you're not familiar with what we did with this. I'm going to take you over here to our, this is just our YouTube channel here, and if you just go to playlist, the very first one has all of the Ninja related content. The one that you want is number 21. Oh, let's see. Back here, let's number 21 here, the advanced trade panel here. So that will go over all of the basic functionality of it. And it's not terribly long, so I would encourage you to give that one a review if this interests you. The enhancements that we've made, these have all come from requests of traders, members, users that have reached out to us asking for this modification. Now, I should note here, I've just got a 5-minute chart up here of I've got a micro NQ. Oh, this is, I think I've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday teed up, but we're just going to stay on this one day. I think this is Wednesday. Now, the real benefit here, well, let me start by saying it this way. By default, what you're going to end up here, and we want you to have this option, you've got the default here will be the ATM. So, if I wanted to buy this, and, just get stopped into the market here, the take profit and the stop or any custom stop movement here would be all tied to the ATM and Ninja, right? But Ninja doesn't do a great job of giving you the precision that you might like.
Order
and
canceled.
This is what we think we've dealt with here rather nicely with regards to money management. So same idea. I'm just going to go to position sizing here, and we've given you 3 new choices. So the first one is fixed number of contracts, right? So where this would have application, if those of you that might use a tab, so you might go, for example, might have the NQ here and then the YM on another tab. Well, what can happen to you, you might have, maybe you're doing 3 lots in the NQ and 5 lots in the YM. If you switch back and forth, you can end up with the wrong ATM here, and you got to be careful about that. So if you don't see it and you switched over to the YM and you saw something and you didn't take the time to double check the ATM, you can end up with the wrong ATM. So by setting this here for whatever chart you want to work on, it's going to make sure that you've always got the right number of contracts. Right, kind of a nice little feature just to avoid that mistake, which I have made. I know others have as well. Let's go to the risk dollar amount. This was the most requested. So for example, in this case here, I'm just going to set it at 200. The idea being that I have now decided that I do not want to risk any more than $200 on any one trade, right? So the assumption being you've designed a trade plan. Maybe your risk is 2,000, but I'm just using 200 for the number here. But you've made a commitment to yourself that with your trade plan, you're not going to risk any more than X amount of dollars. We're going to use 200 in this case per individual trade. Well, if you're going to keep it to a dollar amount, there can be some variability in the number of contracts that you're trading relative to where your stop is placed. So for example, if I just go here and let's say I want to be stopped into the market, and I'm going to put my stop, I'm thinking that I want to put it under this pivot right here, and I'm going to put my take profit up here. Well, so you'll note here that this maxed out here, it's going to tell me I'm taking $195 of risk here with my stop here. So right, I have it, this is in playback mode here, so I can demo it. If I get stopped in, which hopefully I can demo this, this is where my stop's going to be placed. So all of that remains consistent. Now, what we're trying to prevent, I think I got to get stopped in here. So let me speed this up here.
Order submitted.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm stopped in, right? So as it sits right now, no change. The temptation, and we've all done this here, you might say, perhaps the market starts to come back against you a little bit, and you're like, well, I like this trade, so I'm going to give it a little more room. So I'm going to pull this down a pivot and put it there. Now, it's letting me do that because I'm in playback and I've stopped the playback. So you'll note here, I know it's a little hard to see. Here, maybe I can go even further. So you can see here, now it's at $310. So I've just added, just by looking at this saying, I'm going to use the last pivot low here because I don't want to get stopped out. Well, right. So now I've broken the agreement that I made with myself to keep my risk at no more than 200 per trade. Well, now what you'll notice here, now if I put it back as to replicate as though it was, you had live data, it moves it back. So note, I'm trying to move it down here to below this low, and I want to put it there. It won't let me do it. It's just going to snap it back. It doesn't matter where I take it. Now, if I move it up here, that's different because I'm still within my 200. If I want to say I want to be below the IB, I'm going to leave it there. It will not let me do it. That's a really useful feature because particularly, the environment that we're in right now, where we have so much volatility and we have a lot of geopolitical risk in the background, the volatility in the markets is really rather extreme. So when you're trading micros here, this would be particularly useful because if we're right, of course we want to get the maximum upside benefit here. So number of contracts here is significant to us, but of course this is all about risk control. What about when we're wrong? And doing this, it's so easy to say, I'm just give it a little more room. Right, you start doing that repeatedly over time, and you've now abandoned any trading plan that you have, and now you're just trading emotionally off of the whims of what you see in the market, rather than the discipline that comes from sticking to a trading plan. So with that said, here let me pause this again here, and we'll close that trade and cancel this all out. Very useful feature here. Now let me keep going here because that's just risk dollar amount. Now what if you wanted to do risk per percent of capital? Well, here, since I'm using the playback account, which I believe has a default, yeah, it does. It has a default of 100K. So for example, now if I say, okay, I want to be stopped in here, and I'm going to put my stop under this pivot low. Well, look right here. If I put it right here, and I'm going to put my stop right here, it's telling me I can do 17 contracts. Because that's 2%, I'm staying within 2% of my 100K account. So same thing, right? Exact same thing. If I tried to move, I've got to get stopped in first. Let me get stopped in here, and I'll show you the same idea. I think I get stopped in here. Well, here, let's just redo it here. So let me cancel this out. So for whatever reason here, we didn't know. Let's go. Let's say we just want to take that, and we're going to put our stop right here and our take profit here. Well, again, it's telling me I can do 32. So let me see if I can do it this way.
Order submitted.
Okay, so there it is. So it's telling me I can do 32 contracts. So now we're stopped in. Now, if I wanted to, for whatever reason, I just said, I want to give this a little more room, I'm going to take it down here. Well, of course, it'll let me do it, but only because I'm paused, right? So as soon as I hit play, now it's going to snap it back. Say, hey, 2%, that's where 2% is. That's the maximum you can risk. Pretty handy feature. Right, so I thought I would just make a point of going over these specifically because we think that really adds a lot of value to this indicator. Here, I don't know any other indicator in the Ninja space that does that for you. And again, this is also available to you if you're using Ninja to trade CFDs or Forex. It will do these exact same calculations for you down to the dollar. Pretty cool. The other thing, we have an OCO. So if you had you were looking to be stopped in, you had entry orders on either side of the market, you've got an OCO here with a tick offset. That's also available to you. And then the other is that we have a break even here. So if you were in profit here, it started to move towards your target here, you got far enough away to where you felt like it made sense to move your stop to break even. Well, you can just move it to break even. It'll stick it right to your entry price. Right, so some nice new enhancements that we've made here. I remind you, you can demo all of this as all of our indicators. You just go to our website and you can load it up in your cart, request the demo. It'll download with no charge to you. There's no credit card required. We give you 5 trading days, not calendar days, 5 trading days to use it as much as you'd like. And I'd encourage you to do that because I think you'll find these two features, the position sizing, the risk control, is really a big value add. Really, I think it will, if you're committed to sticking to a trading plan, this is giving you a little bit of like bumpers to make sure that you don't do that. What's so easy to do, give it a little more room. All of a sudden, your trading plan is broken. Okay, guys, there you go. Give it a try. We think you'll like it. And with that, I'll wish you a good day, good trading.